FSU Pistols and Pies starts right now. Here's Jeff Cameron.
The Seminole Headlines 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV begins right now. There's Ira. There's Corey. I believe our setup is working. Say something, boys.
What up?
Something.
What up? Can you hear us? Oh, man.
Got new mics in here,
Oh,
new mic
man.
stands.
They can change it up, but you can't fluster the kid.
No, you did it, man. You did it with time to spare.
It's like I'm setting records. Usain Bolt in production setup. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
One thing I've noticed, though, I don't have access to the chat.
Oh, you can press it. You got in there. You see over there on the right side, I bet.
I may check it out.
Yeah.
Usually you
I
have it
never
set up
have
there
access
for
to
me.
the chat because I never have a monitor in front of me.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I know what I look like.
Ira's used to the creature comforts that really.
Oh, I got the chat.
Yeah,
There you go, Ira.
See, that's there you go. Look
I
at
had to
that.
do it myself, though.
Imagine that. You had to press the button. I know. It was tough. And with that, we'll say, "Yay, sausage!"
I don't want to put Bill's business in the street, his behind the scenes. But apparently there was a mix-up at Corner Pocket because I talk all the time about those register sausage bites that I ordered. They're really good. Night last week, I ordered some sausage bites, register sausage bites. They came out. They were good. I liked them. But I'm like, man, and Bill wasn't even there. This doesn't taste like it normally does. It's not quite as good. And then I heard that they had gotten the wrong shipment
Imposter
and it
bites.
was imposter register sausage. And literally, I'll be honest with you, until that happened, I'll be frank, I'll be transparent. I don't know if I could have told the difference between an other sausage and registers.
Apparently you can.
Now I absolutely can tell the difference.
I like that you were heady in the moment. You said something's wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I still
going to
ate them.
inquire. I'm going to figure this out.
Yeah, so the next day when we got him again, we're like, man, this is kind of like kielbasa or something. He's like, yeah, we didn't get the right order.
Screwed this
and I'm
up.
like, yeah, this ain't right, man. Send it back. And then I
Did you flip the?
Well, I flipped the table.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, did you flip the table or the plate at the least?
Yeah.
And did you slap the server or the chef or who did you?
Well, no, I went back in the kitchen.
Okay.
And they all wore one.
Right.
They all wore one
They
back
knew.
there.
They knew. He's on to us.
Yeah.
How
Ridiculous.
can folks get registered sausage?
Yeah, you don't have to go to those measures. Usually it's going to be there at Corner Pocket or obviously your local grocery stores in this part of the country, over to the Panhandle into Alabama. It's delicious up into the Carolinas and southern parts of Florida, southern reaches of Florida. It's premium pork sausage, all the different varieties. You got the andouille. You've got the cheddar jalapeno, which we love so much. The breakfast, the short links, all the different varieties. They have the bun length, I think, as well. All the different varieties. You can go spicy or you can go regular. And if you go to registermeats.com, that's the website. They'll have it delivered to your house. You won't get the imposter sausage.
Right.
You'll get register sausage delivered to your house, comes in a cooler, fresh and with ice, and you won't regret it.
So I hate to start the show, sadly, but we have to, I guess Lamont Green has passed away, and that looks like that's been confirmed. And, of course, since the last time we talked, Ryan Reed passed away. Man. It's been a tough run.
And like a month or two ago, Bradley Jennings.
Yeah, I was just about to say, so people associated with Florida State athletics and Florida State football, basketball programs have had a rough go of it in recent years and especially recent months. So our condolences certainly go out to anybody that is family, friends, or associated in any way with Lamont Green and Ryan Reed.
And if you don't know, Lamont Green was a linebacker for Florida State in the 90s. He was like I think he was the USA Today Player of the Year coming in to college. He had a pick six at a game I was at Georgia Tech, or maybe a fumble six, but he scored a touchdown at Georgia Tech. And he couldn't have been, he's 48?
49, 48, 49.
Yeah, and then Ryan Reed was 38.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it really is. It's just sad, man.
It does. Obviously, it's sobering. It's frightening and it's sobering, but it's also very sad. So I don't want to get going, and we always yuck it up and have a good time, but I at least want to acknowledge that that's happened. So that's a tough one.
We should also acknowledge Cal Raleigh.
I was about to transition to that. You made it a little bit easier.
Our guy was on location
I was
night.
on location, barely. I tell you what, so I'm a partial season ticket holder for the Braves, meaning like me and my buddies bought a partial season ticket package, so we get 27 home games. And they really, if I showed you the picture of where we A-list members got to sit for the home run derby, I was barely in Atlanta. I mean, I was barely in the state of Georgia. The fireworks went off beside me. It was crazy.
But for games, your seats are good.
They are for games. But for the home run derby, which is kind of one of the reasons we wanted the tickets, is like we get easy access to the derby and the All-Star game. I mean, they barely kept us in the stadium.
So I got to ask you right off the bat. First of all,
down the right field foul line,
Raleigh.
right down. Yes, yeah. And Cal Raleigh was great with his dad pitching.
Awesome. Right, and his brother catching. Yeah. But here's what I want to know: is it any good to be there? I think it looks like it would be better to be there than watch on television, but neither really. I watch, especially because Cal was in it and my man O'Neal Cruz was in it, so I watch both. But it's tough because what they do is they just show the swings over and over, and you don't really get to see angles. It's tough.
So I like it. I think it's much better to be there than on TV because you're seeing the ball. Like the problem is like O'Neal Cruz hit a ball that's
513.
Nobody's ever hit a ball that far in that stadium's history, and it's not even close. But by the time we're seeing where the ball is actually ending up, there's another one in the air.
Yeah.
It's like being in an airport.
It's crazy. But it's better to be there and see that than on TV. Because on TV, it looks like you have no idea what home run distance just came up, where it went, what's that image they're showing.
And it's weird because like Ravitch is like, oh, that one's gone. And then you see the ball landing in, but that's the ball from before.
That's the one. Yeah.
They're horrible with it. And look, I've been lucky enough to be to two of them. I was at the Sosa one in 2000. And that was back when you just got 10 outs. And what was cool about that is when he hit a ball 500 feet and he hit 2.508 in that day, we all, including him, watched it and admired it.
Time to
and he would hit like 6 in a row, and each one he hit, we would cheer louder and louder, and everybody was chanting Sammy by the end of it. When he hit the 508 one, we gave him a standing ovation for about 90 seconds. It was a really cool, and I've been lucky enough to be at some really cool sporting events. It was one of my top sporting events I've ever been to.
I like that old system though, Corey.
That's what I'm saying.
A much better system.
Imagine being there and O'Neal Cruz hits one with 7 outs to go, and we all get to watch it land. He got a standing ovation. Who cares about the number?
And it's such a weird format because it's not like anything they ever do.
No.
It's not. It would be like doing 30 slam dunks in a minute. Like,
it's a speed thing. Yeah, it's a speed thing.
It's a weird, and I thought
I don't even know the reasoning. Can you think of a reason why they did it like this?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was going to hurt Cal because I was like, there's no way he's in as good a condition as the kid from the Rays. Like, I'm feeling that may wear him down a little bit. But no, Cal's just going to hit.
He gets to hit right-handed occasionally too. That helps. He gets to take up.
Well, yeah.
But that was cool too that he got to do both. And yeah, man, it was really neat to see. So in all transparency, I left after Matt Olson batted. I had to get down to Tallahassee. I saw a 513-foot home run. I saw a bunch of home runs.
You were so devastated Matt Olson didn't advance.
Once he didn't advance, I'm like, why are we even here?
Yeah,
what is this? Let's just leave, Brady. And then 45 minutes later, we got out of the stadium and started walking to the car.
Yeah, I think I've watched 2 home run derbies in the last 10 years. One was when Adley did the switch hitting thing, and then this one. But Cal was awesome. It was such a cool.
Yeah.
It's funny. I tweeted the other day about there's a story in the Athletic about, or New York Times, whatever that is, about Jared Verse and Braden Fisk, and I was like, the story was so cool because it's like you got these 2 emerging stars who are just good dudes. Like, they were good dudes when they were here. They appear to be really good dudes there. Hard workers, push each other, great relationship. It's a fun story. It's going to be fun to see that story play out as long as they're together. And I tweeted, like, man, this is great for Florida State. Like, this is going to be a very positive story for Florida State because every time there's articles written about them or interviews, they talk about their time at Florida State, which is good for Florida State. A couple of people tweeted at me like, why? Like, what's the big reward? Yeah, man, it's a huge reward. And for recruiting, for just prestige, especially when the program's not doing well. But I think Cal is the exact same thing. I mean, man, him and Eduardo Perez. I mean, what a commercial for Florida. That was the best.
End, that's what they did.
That was the best PR for Florida State on national television in over a year, I thought. Eduardo and Cal.
Yeah, and the kid too, and then you had all of them saying, "Yeah, go Noles" on the broadcast.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it was absolutely cool, and I just we're all fathers here, so just seeing father, son, and other son. To be in that situation, that's got to be crazy. It's surreal. I think the pressure is always on the pitcher.
Right.
I like when you.
Yeah, he delivered. He stepped up.
Yeah, he did step up. I mean, there's a lot of pressure there. I always think that.
And the younger brother's coaching him up.
Yeah, yelling at. Yeah, it's good, but
get it down a little.
I would have a hard time, man, because I'd be nervous. I was missing the sweet spot for my son. It's going to cost him a chance to win.
Yeah.
I'd be too nervous to do it. I'd get frustrated when I was throwing to Bryce back in the day.
It's cool though, man. Like Cal Raleigh. We can't put into words what kind of season he's having. They try. And by the way, I got pretty tired of hearing all these records he was breaking, like the most home runs before the All-Star game. It's like, man, how about just the fact that he has a chance to hit like 60 home runs? He might break Aaron Judge's. Remember how we break into college football games to see if Aaron Judge could break the AL home run record? He might break that. Nobody cares about who has the most home runs before the All-Star break. He's going to break the all-time catcher home run record.
Throw Johnny Bench's name in there.
But I'm saying he's going to break his record for most home runs in a season.
There were already staggering numbers.
And then he wins the home run derby.
It's crazy.
He's like a guy now that if he walked into a hotel kind of anywhere in the country, people would know who he is. Like he's a household name now.
Yeah. And listen, it's been building towards, nobody could have predicted
75 home runs.
Of season would happen for him, but he's been a power hitter since he came into the league. He's been a guy whose numbers have continued to grow. He was already below. Hence, he got the contract, signed it 1 year too early.
Yeah, he did.
Alive.
You know what's funny though? I was looking at actually a friend, Chris Nee's wife, Caressa, posted a picture on Facebook of their son with Raleigh when he was playing here.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, why is he hitting so many home runs compared to then? And you see what he looked like then. He did not look like this then.
Yeah, his
he was
junior
still a
year,
thin,
that third year, he was 225.
Yeah, he was not built like this.
No.
I mean, he has spent a lot of time in the weight room.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy. He's also grown into being a man. A man. It's funny. I had somebody text me last night. They're like, I don't remember Cal Raleigh being all that good. I'm like, he was good. Really good.
He was all conference.
He had a terrible sophomore year because of a wrist injury.
Yeah, that's right.
But he was a first-team All-Freshman his first year, and his third year he was second-team All-American.
Yeah.
He was good. He hit 333 with 13 bombs and 50-plus RBIs and OPS over 1,000. He was good. He was always good. Nobody can say, well, you're really good as a third-year guy in college, and you're going to one day hit 39 home runs before the All-Star break in the major leagues.
It's third most all-time, by the way, if you guys are keeping track of the most home runs before the All-Star break.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to project.
And then win the home run derby on top of that is like, that's a crazy. And how did he advance?
By an inch.
By an inch on the longest home run?
Yeah, he was tied.
Yeah, the Booker guy didn't seem real.
I was going to say, Rooker's like, come on, man.
This question.
He was like, maybe they should put out those measurements before they come back later and tell us that that's the tiebreaker.
I did think that that's a tough beat if you're in the Rooker family because the thing is, how do they measure when you beat somebody by an inch? So for those that don't know, they tied. They had the same exact amount of home runs in the first round.
And they had the same longest home run.
And they had the same
like 468
so
feet.
So then
it
went to inches. Anyhow, so
I've never seen a home run measured down to the inch.
Why wouldn't you just put him bring him in the next round?
Or just let him have a swing off or something. Like you each get 10 pitches or 5 cuts or whatever it is. But I was thinking so when it hit the fan in the face, was that one place or the chest that's lower?
Yeah,
so
how do they measure? How do they measure that?
Yeah, track man.
But I was like that.
The only one I trust for sure is Cruz because he hit it out of the flipping stadium. Yeah, that guy.
Dude, his first couple he hit, I texted Tim. I was like, your boy's gonna hit 50 home runs.
It's crazy.
The problem is he's just not a great baseball player.
No, he's not.
He's not as consistent.
But the ball off his bat is crazy. And yeah, man, and it kind of dovetails the Cal Raleigh Eduardo Perez moment. Kind of dovetails into the fact that they just set a record for the most players drafted off one of their teams. I mean, that's pretty impressive, man. These last 2 years, what they've done and what they've had in this roster.
Yeah, so they had 11 players drafted this year. That's a record. The previous record was 10 30 years ago, but that team had 2 players picked well into the 20s and 30s rounds.
Yeah, that's right. It's only 20 rounds.
So this was 11 guys in 20 rounds. Interestingly enough, one of the 2 guys that got drafted in the later rounds that year in 1995, Danny Cannell.
Oh, okay. All right.
Nobody ever talks about him as a
two-sport guy. He didn't do a lot here as a baseball player. But yeah, he was on the team.
He's got the uniform.
Yeah.
But
that's right. He's got pictures of him.
And then over the last 2 years, so last year they got drafted, or they had 8 guys drafted. So that's 19 in 2 years. That's the most in any 2 years by several. They had 16 not that long ago, like 6-7 years ago. They had 16 over 2 years. But most of those guys, like 9 of the 16 were later rounds.
Yeah, they used to go into the 40s. The MLB draft used to go in the 40s. They've cut it down to 20 rounds. So, yeah, that's really remarkable. And then when you look, I tweeted about it, but that lineup last year, you had third rounder, going in order, third round pick, first round pick, fourth, undrafted, which is weird. Cantu is a nice player. Yeah. I don't know if he's just because he was old. Then second rounder, fourth rounder, and then Jackson West even got drafted. So 18th rounder. So that is literally probably, you could probably say that's the best offense Florida State's ever had. Most talented offense Florida State's ever had. And if the check swing goes a certain way, Maybe
they might have brought home a title with that team. Yeah, frustrating. Seminole headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Picture this. It's midnight and you're lying in bed, scrolling through this new website you found, hitting the add to cart button on that item you've been looking for. After 15 minutes, you decide you've done enough damage to your wallet and decide to check out. But you remember that your wallet or credit card is in the living room and you don't want to get out of bed to go get it. Just as you're getting ready to abandon your cart, that's when you see it. That purple shop button. That shop button that has all of your payment and shipping information saved, saving you time while you stay warm in your bed. That's Shopify. And there's a reason so many businesses sell with it, because Shopify makes everything easier, from checkout to creating your own storefront. Shopify is the commerce platform behind 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., from household names like Mattel and Seminole headlines to brands just getting started. Shopify gives you that leg up from day one with hundreds of beautiful, ready-to-go templates to express your brand style and forget about all the code. Tackle all those important tasks in one place, from inventory to payments to analytics and more. Spread your brand's word with built-in marketing and email tools to find and keep new customers. And did I mention that iconic purple Shop Pay button that's used by millions of businesses around the world? It's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. Your customers already love it. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/warchant. Go to shopify.com/warchant. Shopify.com/warchant.
Today, Seminole Auto Glass.
Story. At Cornerstone Memorials, we help you preserve that story with care, compassion, and craftsmanship. Whether it's a custom headstone, a beautiful monument, or a heartfelt inscription, our family is here to serve yours. Visit cornerstonememorials.org and discover how we've helped Tallahassee families honor their loved ones for over 50 years. Choose Cornerstone Memorials because the memories of the ones we love deserve to last forever.
Ain't nothing but a G-Pod, baby.
I am 99% sure that is not how the lyrics go.
Well, you like remixes, right?
Of course.
Well, think of this as a Grassroots Coffee remix per se, because Grassroots Coffee is now in the single-serve coffee pod game.
Dude, those single-serve coffee pods and cups are weak sauce.
Not Grassroots Coffee G-Pods. They have more coffee in them than regular single-serve pods and cups.
Seriously?
And not only do they have more coffee, they have a built-in filter for better brewing. They fit in most Keurig machines, and they are fully compostable.
It's still the small batch, slow roasted coffee you love, so go to grassrootscoffee.com and get your box of G-Pods today.
Baby!
See? Remix!
Well, actually, that's more of an homage.
Grassroots Coffee, locally owned, locally roasted, and made for everyone, loved everywhere.
Grassroots Coffee G-Pods. So very good.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
I don't want to get too deep into the show without noting our friends at Tavello, because you broke one out last night, and I've been thinking about it ever since.
Yeah, man. Corey and I were up there on Thursday.
For the paint and greet. What was it called?
Paint and sip.
Paint and sip.
Maybe it was a paint and greet.
Yeah. We did not paint, but we did sip.
And he did last night when we were on the Smash.
Oh, okay. You had some Tavello?
Yeah.
Nice. That lager's tasty, man. You know me, I don't go after the crazy stuff, but I just had their light lager. Really good stuff. Really good.
When was the last time you had a beer?
That was it.
I mean, prior.
Sometimes I'll sneak in an ultra at the end of the night.
Okay.
Just to
when nobody's looking,
just to level down. Level down a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
And I can't. This mic is not doing great by me, but y'all go ahead, talk about Tavello. I'm going to try
figure that out. It's not difficult. Ira, you talk about Tavello. I'll turn his mic off while you fiddle.
No,
with
I'm good. I'm good.
We had a great time. They have more and more events going on there. You can go check the schedule if you go to Tavello's Instagram or Facebook. They're very active on social media.
Yes, they are.
And you'll see the events they've got coming up. It's just right up there in the Thomasville. In fact, a friend of ours, a friend of the show, I'm not going to out him here, texted me the other day and said, hey, if you want to go up to Tavello one night, I'll drive. I just want to go check it out. So it's spreading. We're spreading the word.
Oh, you're getting designated drivers to volunteer?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think he
doesn't need a DD.
He had a beer.
He might have had a beer. Yeah. But no, it's the interest is spreading. And the time I was there before, I forgot to mention this. When we were over there, when I was over there the July 4th, ran into a guy named Tucker, who's a big FSU fan from Navarre, Florida, and his wife and child, and they stopped in on their way. They were kind of going through town, and they stopped in because they've heard about it as well.
There we go.
Forget about it.
There we go.
There we go.
So it's
that's what it is.
Starting to build. It's starting to build. Go check out Tavello, and as I said, as Jeff said, you can go into the store, into the tap room, and you can go buy 6-packs and take them with you. All the different varieties they've got. Probably over a dozen different kind of beers, and they'll give you taste testing. You'll find something you like, no question.
Do you do that a lot when you're talking about registers in Tavello?
What's that?
You just look right into the camera. I never do that, but that makes sense because you're talking to the people.
It's like
how long have we been doing this show?
A long time.
And it's been on video for a very long time as well.
He doesn't have a monitor, so
he's got a camera right in front of him.
Guys,
make love to that.
Guys, go to Tavello. Whatever you do, look how low I have to get to this.
Yeah.
I have to get to this mic.
Not sure that that's accomplishing what you want.
Yeah. I missed it.
There we go.
Hey, look at that. Come on, Corey.
Sorry, I'm trying to get it together.
Things, buddy. I mean, come on. We had a couple of super chats that I didn't get to in the first segment. My apologies to Dave in Bardstown, who writes, weird hypothetical from Father's Day. You're in Gene's doghouse, and he assigns you to cover How to Be a Better Man talk by Kevin O'Sullivan. Do you A, quit, B, go and write a sarcastic article, C, sit in the back and laugh? So I wouldn't.
Well, mine would be B. That's what I do just in life.
Just to go write a
sarcastic article. Yeah, that's kind of what I do.
I'm trying to put myself in this mental place where Gene is making us
because he's mad.
Assignment because he's mad at us. Yeah. And yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, I think sarcasm is the way to go. Just lay it on thick, super thick, and then maybe even talk about Kevin O'Sullivan's home life and how things have gone there. Because it's
dicey, and every time it comes up, I make reference to it, and then we get a bunch of emails like, "Well, are you ever going to spill the beans on that?" Yeah. I'm like, you can research it.
You can Google. It works.
You can find it. You can find it. There was a second part to this in which he said, "Corey, there's a side benefit to going to so many Dave Matthews shows. You're on the lookout for any FSU quarterbacks in attendance."
Yeah, I don't think he was at a Dave show, was he? Our guy.
Talking about Wyatt?
Yeah. Dave might have been playing Bonnaroo back then.
It was Bonnaroo. So
yeah, Dave probably headlined Bonnaroo.
It's not a far.
You mean when he was bitten by the tick?
Yeah, it's not. It's not a long leap from Bonnaroo to Dave Matthews, folks. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right.
By the way,
I don't know that the quarterbacks in this year's position room, the quarterback room, I don't know that they're listening to a lot of DMV.
No, probably not.
So I caught a little video on Twitter of Dave Matthews dancing on July 4th or whatever with the Uncle Sam hat, like the red, white, and blue hat and dancing, and that's how he dances?
Yeah, well, that's how he plays a guitar, if that's what he always does his little chicken feet stuff.
Feet thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Man, I can see the attraction.
I hope Steph listens to this.
Sorry, Steph. I mean, what are we doing?
Are we doing headlines from Charlotte?
Oh, good question.
Well, so we're all headed to Charlotte next week. It needs to be noted.
We wouldn't be able to do it live.
Yeah, and I don't know that I'll be in. I won't be there that Tuesday. I mean, I won't be there that early on Tuesday. I wouldn't think.
You're going to be dipping in, dipping out.
Yeah,
how long do we have the place for?
A couple days. Not a long stay.
Oh, do we have it for Wednesday? Like we have to be out the door on Thursday morning?
No,
I'm not trying to corner you into extra work.
No,
I'm just kind of curious how long we have the place.
So what did y'all think of the speaking of ACC kickoff, the selections? I'm sure you've talked about it on the Smash and on your show, but the selections of the guys going up there.
I was surprised by
Richie
those.
Leonard surprised me.
Yeah.
And Daryl, like because just that's not his bag necessarily.
Right.
I know they sent Farmer last year, and that was never seemed to be his bag either.
I think Earl Little Jr. is the surprise,
Well,
right? Because doesn't that tell you how much they need him and want him to be?
I was going to say, I said on Wake Up that I was like, man, I kind of maybe you shouldn't take this kind of leap. But wouldn't that mean they feel like he's the starting safety?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that he's starting at safety.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't written in pen yet. I mean, we felt that, but clear. This seems that makes it crystal clear.
No, it definitely is. But what's more intriguing about that is, and I'm not trying to make it a bigger story than it has to be, but you have a 3-year starting safety. So it's a little odd that you're not taking Shaheem. So I think that speaks to maybe trying to push Shaheem a little bit more because, hey, we've got this guy that we want to be the face of that position group. That was a bigger surprise to me.
But we know why they didn't take Shaheem.
I don't know that that's true.
I don't know
why?
No.
Okay. He's been a model citizen. You're right.
I mean, he got in trouble a year and a half ago, but it wasn't like
that's part of it.
But
and
also,
you make decisions based on these things.
Yeah,
he also played like ass last year.
That might be more it. But but I was going to say, like, nobody in North Carolina knows about Shaheem Brown's incident or would ask him about it. It's not like Jameis 10 years ago. He's not that famous, or people don't care that much about him. I think it's more about.
I look at it as a reward.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I think that certainly isn't something they want to reward. But also the fact that, he didn't play great last year, and
that's why
he's not Tony White's guy.
He had about 60 more tackles than Earl Little.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. Yeah,
he was out there a lot more.
But I thought that was interesting, and I thought again, Darrell Jackson, just because he's never been the guy that's like the most gregarious, but I think. My theory is obviously they want to take him. He came back. They're rewarding him for coming back. But he needs to be the guy, not just.
But that's what they're hoping.
That's what I'm saying. And I think this might be another little kick in the backside. Not that he needs it. We have no idea how he's had an offseason. They raved about him in the spring. But look, man, we think you're a superstar. We're taking you up to Charlotte. Even though you probably don't like doing this and you had 35 tackles last year, we think you're a superstar. We want the rest of the conference to know your name because, let's be honest, man, it ain't like Darrell Jackson's name rings out among ACC media folk. You need to be a guy.
To me, the people they chose are the people they have to have be guys.
Yeah.
And I think Earl Little falls in that category. We'll see if he's going to be. But, it's kind of a perfect role for him if it's a rover type. And he plays fast. He plays with his hair on fire. He hits people. He hit people in the scrimmage we were at. I think Tony probably loves the passion and the speed, and they want him to take that big step. Darrell has to be great. They don't really have proven tackle depth or size there in the middle. He's got to be great. Obviously,
his name might be coming up on the Warchant Top 40 here soon.
Yeah. You're gonna take your quarterback.
The thing about Darrell had to be there because you couldn't convince him to stay. The whole premise of them getting him to stay at Florida State was, we only want you to stay, Darrell. We only want you to take your name out of the NFL draft if you want to come back and be one of the top 5-10 players drafted.
Yeah.
You want to be the number one
defensive lineman drafted.
And then, but no, we're not taking the ACC kickoff. That would be bizarre.
Yeah.
So I think they had to take him. Richie Leonard is interesting because, it's not like he's been here for years.
Yeah.
He has been here a year longer than these other portal offensive linemen, but not a lot more. And he's only played in a few games. So I think I certainly think you could have considered Luke Pettibon, just from the standpoint of, he has been the guy that Gus has just celebrated. And I do think probably.
Did he ever go at Wake?
Oh, I don't know. It's a good question. I'm not sure.
You don't remember? Did you ever get him at your table?
I would have remembered interviewing him, I think, but no, I don't remember.
So you got my competitors. They had some other options. You didn't have to go with Richie Leonard, but it speaks to, I think they are you talk about rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a reward thing. Richie Leonard, he just got nominated for the AFCA Good Works team. They are, they love what he is, not just what they hope he's going to be on the field, but also off the field. So I do think that one's kind of a reward. But yeah, some of them are interesting. You can read into some of it, but Castellanos we knew was always going to be there.
Did you listen to Warchant at all? Wake Up?
Yeah, I think so.
What did you think? And I'm not saying this is a pat on the back because it might have been really dumb. It could have been, but my I don't know, my comparison of these guys, all these different linemen, they feel like grown-ups. I agree in the fact that last year's linemen were all mature, but my point was, but they all got matured by the same one person. They all were under the same dad, essentially. And clearly he lost sight of how to parent for a while because they never got any better. They didn't get any better from 2022 until now.
Take the leap.
They didn't. And so it's like, because a lot of people can hear us talking about this offensive line and how mature it is, how many snaps they played, how many college games they played, and be like, yeah, we heard all this last year. But they all are coming from different places, and they're being coached differently by this guy. But even if Herb Hand isn't an incredible coach, I just feel better about him because I just believe in what they've done at their other schools, maybe more than, for whatever reason, I believe what those guys did last year at Florida State.
You could certainly make the argument that Alex Atkins got blinded maybe by some things with the guys he had been with for 4 or 5 years. Like that he liked those guys. They were here when he got here. They bought into him. He kind of was with them every step of the way the whole time he was here. And then maybe at the end, maybe he like took his eye off the prize a little bit, and he's going through his own stuff. He's suspended, and maybe isn't as pushing them as hard as he was earlier. Whatever you want to say.
Are not recognizing the guys behind them maybe need to play.
100% fair as well. This, you're talking about 4 separate guys coming from 4 separate schools, and then Richie's 5. If you go to him, and Rizzy's another one that came in last year. You've got guys that, they didn't all get just pushed along because their coaches liked them. Like they all had success to some degree or another at different schools. So no, I think that's a valid point. Yeah, I don't have any doubt the offensive line is going to be much better. I mean, that to me is not up for debate. We can sit here and talk about, is this an 8-win team? Is it a 9-win team? Is it a 7-win team? We can have those discussions because nobody really knows. I feel very confident in telling you the offense, position by position across the board, is going to be better this year than last year. And if you put all of those better, then the group should be a whole lot better. I feel very confident about.
It should be better at every position.
I definitely believe so.
I mean, just the upgrades they made. And again, we are talking about
from
the worst thing we've ever seen.
Right. I was going to say,
but it's like going from like the worst movie you've ever seen to just getting a competent director. But at the same time, like you're going to be. You might be good at a couple of positions, but you're not going to be bad, I don't think, at any of them. Like, I think Pittman's a player, man.
I think Pittman's a player, too.
I think this offensive line, even if it's just it's 5
Let's say it's
guys.
Average. Let's say it's average.
But that would be, even if it's average, that's not bad. The quarterback
it's a hell of a lot
play
better than the god-awful offensive line from a year ago.
And the quarterback play can't be worse collectively. It doesn't matter if Tommy even has a 2023 season, a 2024. It doesn't matter. He can't be worse than that collection of 3 guys they ran out that last year.
This is what we keep wrestling with, though. I mean, because I think on the one hand that's all assuredly true. They're going to be better at almost every position.
The basement has been
just that they were
raised.
so bad last year that you can say that, and people will go, well, but how good?
Yeah, right.
Like, I mean, great. They're better than the 2-win team a year ago. Well, they will be, definitively. But are they a 6-win team or a 9-win team? There's a big difference.
Well, if they're a 6-win team, they're triple the team as last year.
No,
that's a 300% improvement.
Well, all I'm saying is most people don't really differentiate between 5 and 7, 6 and 6, 7 and 5. They're going to be like, okay, we're not any good.
Yeah.
And so that's why you keep it just further, you end up asking more questions. But I think it's fair to say, well, we do know that the offensive line will play better than last year's offensive line. And we do know that you will get better play out of the tight ends, out of the quarterback, out of the receivers. You have to. I mean, you couldn't possibly.
It's just a matter of how substantial, how significant were the upgrades.
Right.
We know they're upgrades, but did you go from a C class to cars? What's a Mercedes? Is a C class a Mercedes or a BMW?
Yeah.
Is that the best one?
I don't know cars either, Corey.
Okay, I was looking at you. That's all you do is drive Beamers and Benzes.
You know how
he's been a big car guy for a long time.
Whatever the best class of Mercedes is, we're not expecting that. But we'll take a C class. Again, that might be the best. I don't know.
I would guess the C is a coupe and the S is a sedan.
I don't know. Is there an S class?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. I think that's how it works.
All right.
We'll look it up during the break. If I can fix this microphone.
Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV continues in a moment.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. A heat advisory remains in effect. Chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. High temperatures reach up to 96. Northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies again tonight. Chance of thunderstorms. Lows dip down to about 74. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 90.
Hey, you, can't you read the sign? It says, keep off the grass. Oh, but I just wanted to feel it. Excuse me? I wanted to feel what it was like to have an amazing lawn like you do. It always looks so good, even in the summertime. How do you do it, neighbor? They're called Lawn Johns. They come once a week. Maybe you should give them a call so you can tell other people to stay off your lawn. How's that sound? Ooh, yes. I would love to tell people to stay off my lawn. For the very best in lawn care, call the Lawn Johns at 850-322-2567. Stay off my lawn.
On the front lines, fighting the insanity of the woke, it's Matt and Brett Doster with America in View.
Matt, Florida has become the world leader for freedom, and I love being in the studio with you every week where we are reinforcing the conservative movement with truth, the Constitution, and a little redneck common sense. We're waking the woke.
That's right, Brett. We enjoy talking politics and what's going on in the world. We're bringing our take on the issues, doing our best to fight for freedom.
So tune in every Friday at 4 p.m. on Real Talk 93.3.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 five-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
So, a couple of super chats to touch on here, boys.
I forgot to look up the. You go ahead. I'm going to look
really
up.
Worried about the
No,
C-class
people in the
answers?
chat have already explained it.
Oh, okay.
C-class actually comes in coupes and sedans, according to Mr. P.A. Knowles. And Kurt Searcy says the S-Class is the highest Mercedes.
That's what I thought when I would think it's like the big sedan thing. So A. Wright writes, not a big high school football guy, but did you already comment on the Teddy Bridgewater case? Can the FHSAA actually enforce anything unlike the NCAA? I would think they can, especially since kind of Teddy sort of self-reported by accident in a way.
Yeah, it's a weird deal. So he came out and said that he basically provides a lot of
He's at Miami Northwestern, right?
Yeah,
he's the head coach there.
Money too, but I don't even know if he's an official employee there. Or there's
he was the head coach.
Yeah, but he's not like an employee of the school.
Coach.
That's usually how it is. I mean, that's
he
how it
into
is.
His own money to help some kids out,
right?
And
but
so,
he doesn't teach there. He's just coaching, and he probably doesn't even get paid for it. Maybe
that's. I mean, I think anyway, we don't have all the details, but apparently it's just one of those ridiculous things that, and I think he's saying he thinks they'll work through it.
Yeah,
but apparently,
From what I've read,
I'm sure the other coaches turned him in when they saw that.
They didn't want to get beat. Yeah, they don't like.
This is why all these kids.
But he was providing equipment and meals for all his players.
Uber rides for some kids, and then rehabilitation for kids that were hurt. It's like stuff that you'd like people to do for the kids that play football for you.
Yep.
If you could, but it's not allowed.
And there's also most high school football players in this country, at least a good portion of them, have that paid for them by the school that they play with. They don't have to worry about getting their own rehab or getting meals for their school. They get fed before games. They get fed after games. Well, and if you're talking
about an uber competitive area like South Florida, they might accidentally have apartments that they live in that are provided for them. So, I mean, who are we kidding? Super chat again. Troy Knoll wants to know what the record has to be for Mike to keep his job. That's a mystery. We don't know. I mean, obviously it's this ratio of how much money they owe him and what the wins are and how empty the place is going to be if they're bad. I mean, we've tried to guess all this. I think if he does 6-6 or worse, he's fired. But
yeah, I think I'm down that. I'm on that road
I think
too.
he'd keep his job with anything above that.
I think 7-5 is dicey. I think 7-5 depends on what it looks like.
Yeah,
I think if
6-6 though.
6-6,
you're
you're
in real trouble.
Yeah, but I think 7-5 to me is anything above that you're solid. 7-5 to me would be dicey just from the standpoint of if those 4 big games, Miami, Clemson, Florida,
you lost
Alabama, not just lose but are not competitive in those games, and then you also lose to a Virginia or NC State or something like that. I think it's going to be difficult to keep those recruits. It's going to be difficult to get people to keep buying in for season tickets and all that. That one I think would be challenging. I'm not saying you couldn't do it, but you could be 7-5 and it look completely different.
You're right about how it looks and how challenging it is, Ira, because honestly, I mean, we've all pointed this out, but to your point, if they're 7-5, it means they likely lost all 4 of their big games, which means they lost to both of their rivals. They got beat by Clemson and Alabama. Then it means you lost one of the other ones, but you already have 2 automatic wins.
Yeah,
so that means you're going to lose to somebody like Virginia, NC State, Pitt, Stanford. Who's the other? Who am I forgetting? But I mean, like, a bum, an average-ass team, because you don't have Louisville to play. So, I mean, like...
a team that's not investing in football the way you're
Yes,
investing
and so it would be 7-5 is a bad look. If he goes 7-5, there's plenty of people who would want him fired, and they wouldn't be wrong, in my opinion. Don't know that they would do it.
Where I think it could be gray, though, is if you're in all of those games.
Yeah.
They're all great games,
or most of them. You might get blown out once.
Or
you
something
can't
like
get
that.
housed 4 times.
I also think the end of the year is going to be important. If you're getting blown out at the end of the year against Clemson and Florida, that's going to look worse than if
Virginia Tech's the other one. So
Virginia. If you're playing better at the end of the year, then okay, you'd say, okay, he's got these young guys coming, whatever it is, you can kind of talk yourself into it. But the whole equation comes down to what's going to be the appetite in terms of recruiting and in terms of selling tickets, because you love to not pay the $50 million.
That's correct.
They would love to, but they're going to have a reason to not do that. And that's the concern.
But Gainesville is a good illustration of what it looks like matters. Like they didn't have a good season last year.
Yeah, they went 7-5, right?
But they got a little momentum there at the end. They won some games, and they had a quarterback that people were very excited about. So look, man, that saved his job. If he had gone 7-5 with Mertz, and Lagway never played, I don't think Napier's there. So that kind of stuff does matter. It's not like if you'd asked Gator fans last year before the season started, will you be excited to keep Napier if he gets you 7 wins? They'll be like, no. I mean, it's Florida. They don't like 7-5 seasons either, but it's the way it looked compared to probably expectations.
And Lagway's a huge part of it.
Yeah, he's a big part of it. So whether it's Castellanos or Sperry comes in the 5th game of the season and looks awesome and you put something to build on, there's reasons that the record, black and white record, that's why we talk about the gray, because the black and white record can't be the end-all, be-all.
And the Lagway thing's interesting, man. Keep an eye on that, because there are I know some people that cover Florida, they're not convinced he's definitely good. Like, he made some great throws. Yeah. But it wasn't like he was sitting back diagnosing and just a field general making every throw. They knew what throws he could make. He made them. Then he had to sit out this whole offseason with a shoulder. So let's see.
He's still recovering from that hamstring injury, that really scary hamstring
because
injury.
If he's not what they hope he is, now people are going to look at Billy in a whole different light.
Oh, he's got a problem if he's not what they think he is, because they are really excited about who he will be. Right. And that stretch, their schedule was infinitely more difficult than Florida State, so that's another part.
And
of
he may be that guy, but he didn't
prove it last year.
Preparing for him, and
he proved he has tools. Right. But he's got a big arm, and he's fat, and he can move. But it's like, man, we all know quarterbacking is like 10% big arm. It's how you diagnose and how quick you see it. And we don't know that he's great at that yet. He certainly could be, but we don't know that yet. This mic's bothering me, but keep going, boys.
I would suggest, Ira, to your point, there's a world in which, and this isn't negative, this is just adding to what you just said, 7-5, where you lose by 3 to Alabama, 3 to Clemson, 7 to Miami, whatever, right, what you're talking about. There's also a world in which you go 8-4, lose all 4 of those games, and none of them are close. And that 8-4 record has a lot of people wanting you fired.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because they wouldn't at 8-4, but that wouldn't mean that the fan base was fired up. They'd be pissed,
especially if you're
you get
losing
blown out in all 4 of those games. Nobody's happy.
Florida's beating you 40-9 or something at the end of the year.
And by the time Florida State plays Miami, you're going to have a good idea of what Miami is. Oh, yeah. Like, Miami's already played Notre Dame.
Well, you'll know if Carson Beck is healthy and good.
And so if he's not, if they don't look very good and you're not competitive with them, that's going to be a bad look. not just losing the game, but it would be a bad look. So man, there's a lot of nuance into this. We're going to see how it plays out.
It's funny because Kirby was it was SEC Media Days in Atlanta, and Kirby was talking today about Carson Beck, and he was like, yeah, man, I don't know why it didn't work out. He just struggled. He didn't have the year we want him to, or he wanted to, and it just didn't work out. And it's like, that's kind of something that's been forgotten. Carson Beck wasn't very good last year, and he will not probably have the luxury of having the best defense in the United States if he can't produce points. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot on Carson Beck that he hasn't really proved. Yeah, he's got a big arm. We know that. He could be an NFL quarterback. But, man, playing at University of Miami compared to Georgia and the expectation, and knowing that if you have a quarter where you go 3 and out 3 times or turn it over, you can still win the game. He threw 5 picks against Alabama or whatever it was, and they still had the lead in the fourth quarter. So, but the point being, like, Carson Beck is not a guaranteed lights out quarterback. He is not Cam Ward. I guess, I don't know if Cam Ward was guaranteed, but I felt.
But the thing about Cam Ward was Cam Ward didn't need everything else to function.
Yeah, he lived in that. He lived in the Washington State offense where he had to score 40 points to win. Carson Beck has never been on a football team where he's been counted on to go win games.
Go win it, Carson.
Yeah, but he's going to have to do that in Coral Gables.
Well, he's going to have a similar problem to what he had at Georgia last year, in the sense that I thought that he was victimized some by the loss of Ladd McConkey and Brock at tight end.
Yeah, those are big losses.
Pretty prolific players.
They turned out to be good in the next league.
And nobody from Georgia caught the ball last year.
No, they didn't.
He was victimized a lot by that, and if you factor that into his numbers, they would have been a lot better. But he doesn't have receivers at Miami this year either. That's their biggest concern. They don't have the receivers. They don't have a Restrepo like they had last year. That's a big deal. Now, he's probably got a much better defense on the other side of the ball, not than Georgia, but than Miami had last year.
Yeah.
And they're going to run the ball because they have a good offensive line. So it's an interesting
They're not paying
debate.
him to be a game manager.
Well,
Go get you a Heisman, Carson Beck.
I'm just saying that it's going to be weird because he got screwed by Georgia receivers last year some.
He did.
And I don't know that he's going to have a ton of luck with Miami receivers this year. That's an area where they're a little frustrated that they have, for all the money they've spent, they should have better receivers.
Tell you what, the juices are flowing a little bit. I know I'm almost off the screen right now.
Do you want to do the show from the floor?
You don't have a monitor to see,
but
you're now.
I can see it. I can see it in front of me right here.
Seeing it?
Because your screen right there, right to the right of you.
You're like in the corner.
Yeah, I'm in the corner as low as I can possibly be, like a Muppet.
You know, there's a way to raise that line.
I know, but I can't figure it out, so I just lowered down to it. But what I was going to say is,
the
juices are flowing about college football. It's here, man.
You're having your memory jogged. Who left? Who's around? Who transferred? What are the expectations? People's schedules. I mean, like, when you bring up Miami, you're talking about Ira. We'll know what they are when they play Florida State. You're damn right we will. They have 2 huge games before they play Florida State.
Do they open up with somebody good?
Notre Dame.
That's Dame, right. Dude.
And then
they play Florida.
Yeah, that's right. And that's early on, right?
And USF.
Well,
dude, the USF's not terrible.
They're better, and I love their coach, but you know,
it's not East Texas A&M.
No, it's definitely
it's definitely going to be. It's going to be competitive. I was trying to. There's so many good games. That first
I need
week.
to go look at the line between Miami and USF.
It is crazy how much I'm looking up at you.
I'm not betting on USF. I'm just saying.
I'm talking about him. He's like, it's going to be competitive. I'm like,
Well, no, it's not like what you
blowout.
Want. When you're opening with Notre Dame, and then your other 2 games in the first month are Florida State and Florida, you don't really want USF.
No,
in the
you
middle
prefer
there.
an East Texas. I agree with that. That's a fair sentiment. I think Miami won't.
Ask Jimbo how he felt about scheduling USF.
He was furious about that. Yeah. I like the USF coach when the athletic director was it the athletic director that left? Yes, for USF. Oh, Kelly.
Michael Kelly. Yeah, he's in Navy.
Yeah, when he left, which, by the way, talk about a kick to the boys for South Florida. Well, you go to Navy? Anyhow, I know he's a Navy man. So he goes to Navy, and I remember thinking the first thing the new athletic director needs to do is tell that coach, you're good. We like you. Because most times athletic directors come in, they want their own guy. That coach at USF's a good coach. They're not great yet, but I think he's got to go in the right
direction. Clemson open with somebody? Is it LSU?
LSU,
Clemson.
You pay attention to college
football,
I'm saying,
Corey. Well, no, he got 6 weeks.
He's not sure it's even happening.
I got one for you.
Are they going to play college football this year? He's
Texas
not sure.
plays Ohio State.
I knew that
Did
one.
you know that?
And Florida State could not get out of the Alabama game, so that one's happening too on Saturday, August 30th.
They're going to play.
They're going to play, and Alabama don't want none.
Texas and Ohio State are going to play. Clemson and LSU are going to play. Did you know about that?
Miami, Notre Dame.
Miami and Notre Dame are going to play. Florida State and Alabama are going to play. There's just a whole bunch of great games, Corey.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's amazing.
I'm excited. Are any of them on Monday? Are any of them like the Labor Day night games?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, but it's probably not one of the big boys. But yeah, man, it's here, man. We're almost in August. We're getting there. It's
we
exciting.
got our first admission from Corey that he's
starting to talk about
college football.
Starting to talk about Lagway and Carson Beck and like what we're expecting. Yeah, it's exciting.
And schedules
too. Yeah, it's all here, man. It's all here. We've gotten through the dark time.
Really quick, we have 50 seconds left in the hour before we get to headliner questions. I do think it's important to note that and I don't often agree with Sankey about much, and I certainly don't like him, but I like the system that the SEC is promoting in terms of the playoff, and I think the whole country agrees.
Which one is it?
The 5 and 11, the 5
champions. Yeah.
The only conference that doesn't want that is the Big Ten. That's going to get. The Big Ten's going to have to back down from that. I think they will probably because from what we can tell,
it is interesting that they've come out now and basically said that the reports earlier are not exactly true. That it's not unilaterally from the SEC and the Big Ten, like that everybody does have to kind of go on long.
Yeah.
So there's,
I like the one where the ACC was
Jim
guaranteed.
Phillips might swing this. Jim Phillips might.
Yeah, Jim Phillips is the big
he
swinging
never
dog.
talks. He's going to have an opportunity next week to speak up. Everybody else is weighed in on these thoughts.
There it is. True love. True love right there.
Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with.
Some men follow the crowd. Others take the long way, the wayward way. At thewaywardgent.com, we've curated the gear, gadgets, and grit every respectable man needs, from the fairway to the fire pit. We've identified the top-rated Amazon finds, so you don't have to. No fluff, just the good stuff. Visit thewaywardgent.com for the man who's not afraid to live a little off course. Thewaywardgent.com.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Do you own a small business? Let me guess. You started your business so you could get bogged down with payroll and bookkeeping, office tasks, and other paperwork, right? Probably not. I'm Craig Collins with Collins Income Tax Solutions. Allow me to help you get out from behind your desk and get back to doing what you love. For any of your payroll, bookkeeping, or other business services, give me a call today and allow me to take it off your plate. You can find my contact information online at collinsincometaxsolutionsllc.com.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can put him to the test. Barry knows heating and air conditioning. Keeping you comfortable. Here's what Barry does best.
No matter how busy life gets, your home is the place where your family and friends show you they care and celebrate with you. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning always make sure your home is comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, Barano will always be there for you.
This is Tyler from Barano Heating and Air. Now you can schedule an appointment, purchase or renew your service agreement, or pay your bill from your mobile device. Any day, anytime, anywhere. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license number CAC 1816186.
Barry knows heating and air conditioning.
Many orthodontists in Tallahassee can straighten a smile, but at Birch Orthodontics, they're dedicated to providing the finest care possible. The experienced and friendly staff is trained in all of the latest techniques. So whether you need standard treatment like braces or Invisalign, or you have a more complicated case requiring extra attention, Birch Orthodontics is here for you. Set up your free consultation today by visiting birchorthodontics.com. BURCH orthodontics.com, or call 850-877-1592. At Birch Orthodontics,
You're
they create
listening to
beautiful
Seminole
smiles
Headlines
that
with
last
Ira,
forever.
Corey, and Jeff. Stay tuned for more headlines coming up next. Your sports action update on Real Talk 93.3 with all the latest odds from Vegas.
Training camp week at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, getting bettors ready for the upcoming NFL season. VSiN betting analyst John Hansen likes Travis Hunter's over 4.5 touchdown prop bet. Hansen believes that Hunter could be over that total by Thanksgiving. VSiN betting analyst banking on Liam Cohen making a difference with Trevor Lawrence this season, the same kind of difference he made for Baker Mayfield a year ago in Tampa Bay. Wes Reynolds likes the Jaguars win the AFC South at plus 325. Jonathan Von Tobel likes the Jaguars to win the South at 3-1. Score $500 in rewards at the GBank First Bet VSiN Trifecta. Details at vsin.com/GBank. For more sports betting news and information, go to vsin.com. Mike Son at Real Talk 93.3.
This summer with Kohl's, you can rack up the compliments. Like, where'd you get that dress? Tell me all your makeup secrets. Or, ooh, my husband needs that polo in every color. Because Kohl's has what you need. Cute dresses, Sephora essentials, stylish polos, comfy kids clothes, and more. Plus, take 20% off some of your faves. Yep, cue the compliments with Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 20th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or kohls.com for details.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hardworking, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Go custom with your window coverings with help from Budget Blinds of Tallahassee. Budget Blinds brings their showroom to your home with dozens of color and pattern choices. Just tell them what you love and they'll make it happen. From designing custom draperies and Roman shades to color matching your blinds and shutters.
I'm Gary, the local owner of Budget Blinds Tallahassee, where you get beautiful style and expert service for any budget. Call 668-4835 for a free consultation online at budgetblinds.com/Tallahassee.
Tired of spending money on bug spray and inhaling all those fumes every time you want to go outside? Treat your yard so you can stop spraying your kids.
Paul's Termite and Pest Control has a solution to this persistent problem. Paul's has a program which seeks the grounds, flower bed, and shrubs. Paul's controls pesky mosquitoes year-round, which means you can take back control of your yard. Not only are mosquitoes a physical irritation, they also pose a potential health risk to people and pets. With Paul's targeted techniques, you can rest assured that your yard will be protected and your afternoons will stay fun.
Take back your yard. Don't let mosquitoes interrupt the fun. For more information, go to callcalls.com. For the elimination of termites or any other pests.
And a greener lawn, too.
Call Calls. We'll get them all.
Calls can help eliminate fire ants from your lawn, too. We'll help you take your yard back.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
It's time for Seminole Headlines, featuring Warchant.com's Jeff Cameron, managing editor Ira Schofel, and senior writer Corey Clark. Your weekly dose of all things FSU, pistols and pies starts right now. Here's Jeff Cameron.
Hour number 2, Seminole Headlines, 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. We're underway. We'll get to questions in just a moment. First, we'll say thanks to Dr. Birch and Birch Orthodontics, best in the business. It's not close. They do great work and support this community of ours. Our thanks to Dr. Birch for supporting Seminole Headlines always.
In this time of year, I'm guessing a lot of parents are discussing whether or not this is the year. Is this the year we're going to go with the braces for our child?
Does school start way too early for your liking, or does it seem that way? Well, I mean, your kids are done. They're done, yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
August
Brady
13th.
goes back. Brady's August 4th.
That feels way too early.
Of course it is.
It used to
It used to be after Labor Day.
Yeah,
or at
like
least near Labor Day.
When I was a kid, back
Well,
in my
way
day,
back when, yeah.
You guys weren't even born yet.
Black and white era.
You'd have the Jerry Lewis Telethon.
That's right.
For Labor Day. And that was like right before school started, or sometimes maybe school started like a day or two
It
before.
always depressed me because I knew it was right
This
around
is the time.
Yeah.
Now they're starting them in August.
Way early,
That's
early
ridiculous.
August.
But this is the time of year you might listen. There's no better time to start a school year than to have new braces. That's what every junior high
Every kid wants that. Yeah, they want to roll in with braces.
They look a lot better than they used to when we were kids. I feel like braces back in the day when there was just big metal.
It's like a lawnmower in your mouth.
Yeah, you looked like the guy from The Spy Who Loved Me. You remember that movie?
Yeah, Jaws. They called him Jaws. Yeah. You watched all those early Bond films.
Yeah, from the Connery.
That was a Roger Moore era Bond film. Yeah, how about that?
Anyway, no, but now they look, it's fashionable. They can change the colors, do all that stuff. But, if you go to Dr. Birch, birchorthodontics.com is the website, BURCH, orthodontics.com. Just go in there and just talk. It's not a high pressure situation. They're not forcing anything on you. They've got payment plans, free consultations. They make it as easy as possible. And then they do tremendous work on top of that. Sometimes, I had a mechanic once, Jeff. A great guy. I loved him.
Yeah.
Great mechanic.
You believed in him?
That was the thing. He was not a good mechanic at all.
Well, that's probably.
But a super nice guy.
Super nice guy.
And he would his quotes would be like one thing and they'd come in lower than the quote. I'm like, well, this is awesome. This is the guy. This guy's the best guy in the world. And, but
because he didn't know what he was
wasn't
doing.
great.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Dr. Birch.
So you'd be
They're
back.
awesome.
That's the opposite of that.
And she does great work. So go to Birch Orthodontics. She's the OG orthodontist.
Did you ever have the conversation in which you said, Bob, I love you, but your work is shoddy.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I just
need
have
a
to keep
steering
coming
wheel.
back here.
I need a steering wheel.
I kept going with my old ass cars, but I would never bring Kim's cars.
Yeah.
Because Kim's cars
were nicer. Yeah.
And one day I think I was driving Kim's car or something, and I stopped by, and he goes, "Well, we've never had that car in here." I'm like, "No, and you're not.
You're not gonna.
Your hands will never touch this fine automobile,
this sweet
sir.
Beauty.
You'll never see it." All right. Since I screwed over the Facebook people last week, I'm going to start with some of those.
But they are from last week.
They
Remember
are
that.
from last week.
Yeah, because I didn't.
But I
didn't.
won't ask the two truly dated ones.
Okay,
from last
good,
week.
good.
Just
It's a pro over here.
Matt writes, with the rules of the game favoring offense so much these days, is it ever acceptable now for a college quarterback to throw for less than 2,400 yards? The answer is yes. If he runs for 1,500,
that would do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think if your quarterback is largely responsible for your offensive production on the ground, then you don't.
Yeah, it depends on the offense, right? Like
you got an unbelievable running game.
Yeah,
and they might. I mean, I don't know if it'll be an unbelievable running game, but they are going to run the ball. So I'm not nobody's expecting Castellanos to throw for $4,000. That's what we call it, right? $4,000.
$4 bills.
$4 bills. That's better.
We kind of answered this when we had the discussion about records, but it's specific. Marlon says, yay, Sausage Boys, does Norvell survive 7-5 if he beats both in-state rivals? Probably.
Yeah, but then you go to the other side of it. It's like, who the hell did you lose to?
Well, then,
now you've lost.
Now you've lost
Stanford
3 games.
Virginia Tech.
Well, you will in that version. You will have lost to Clemson. You would have lost to Alabama, which forgivable. Then the 3 that you got to find. So I would guess a roadie to NC State, a home game to Virginia Tech, and
maybe a home game to Pitt.
Maybe Pitt or Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, but if you're ending the season with a win at Florida, you're not going to lose because you lost to Virginia.
But that would be
you're not going to lose your job because of that.
But that's one where you're in the decision like what they did with Willie, where you fire him before he has a chance to win games late in the season. That's why they fired him when they fired him, is because they were afraid he was going to get to 6-6 or 7-5. Then it would be like, oh, well, you can't fire him now.
Oh,
if he beats Florida.
I was watching that Miami game. I watched how pathetic that effort was and how ill prepared they were, and that's not good. Let's hope we don't have to worry about that. Brett writes, with everything staying the same, assistant coaches, NIL rules, conference buyouts, etc., you 3 are tasked with hiring one of these 2 coaches, 2025 version of Jimbo Fisher or the 2025 version of Willie Taggart. They have to stay for at least 5 years. Who are you hiring?
The 2025 version?
Yeah, so the 2 versions. Well, one of them coaches in the NFL currently.
Right.
That would be Willie. I'm hiring Jimbo.
To do what?
To be the head coach at Florida State.
2025 version.
Yes,
First
the guy walking around
Willie,
a city where who knows
where. He lives in Tallahassee, right?
He's like,
so
he can wait somewhere.
You have to pay moving expenses.
Is he willing to pay off Norvell's buyout to get the job?
Well, that'd be cool because it's just a pittance for him. So,
he could sell a ranch and buy 3 universities with it. Yeah, yes. Because, man, look, Jimbo at least has a track record. It was a while ago, but a track record of putting together an all-time great team.
Yeah, I don't think that person exists. I think I'm hiring Willie and surrounding him with quality coordinators.
He does exist because you were here and met him in the flesh.
But he doesn't exist anymore.
He's just disappeared into the ether.
He is not that person anymore.
But we know it could be in him somewhere deep down in the recesses. Willie, he's never had anything like that.
But if we could surround Willie with some talent.
Why don't we surround Jimbo?
Because he ain't going to listen to anybody.
Well, that's part of the
But maybe I'm banking on, he's been forced out of football.
Oh, he's humbled.
He has now had a chance to step back and realize how much he misses the game and how he should have treated people better, Ira. And that maybe he feels bad about some of the things he said to others.
If he pays a big chunk of Mike's buyout, then we'll consider it.
All right. Really, both could afford to do it. But I was going to say both could afford to do it.
Willie's jealous of Norvell's buyout.
Yeah, no lie. Willie only had a third of that.
Butch brought up Wink's postseason acquisition so far with a heavy emphasis on the bullpen pieces and pitching in general. Do you think he needs to emphasize offense for next year's team? You lose a lot of good hitters from last year's squad. Look, I can tell you that I think they missed out on a couple of guys they really wanted offensively. Listen, you're in competition with others that are willing to get after it, like LSU and others in the South in general. The
Davidson kid didn't get drafted, right? The kid they got out of the portal, like the one big bat they got out of the portal, the infielder. I don't remember him getting drafted. Sure. I don't remember that showing up on Twitter anyway. So that's a nice addition. And then you're thinking, look, Carnes was one of the best hitters in the Cape Cod League.
He's killing it right
That's
now.
That's what I'm saying. He's an all-star in the Cape. And the way he looked at the end of the season, you're like, okay, that's a middle of the order bat.
You're going to have speed atop the order that will rival anybody's. If he gets on base and has a healthy shoulder, he'll be a switch hitter, so you're stealing bases left and right. Miles Bailey's going to hit 20-plus home runs and be one of the best power hitters in all of baseball. I think that,
Cal Fisher's
will
coming
take
back.
a step. They're going to be fine.
You wonder about Gage Harrelson.
Yeah.
I know he's drafted in the 16th round.
Okay, well, I'm glad you brought it up because we got asked this question.
Okay.
Will he come back?
Yeah, because he's a 16th round pick. I can't imagine the slot for that is more than a couple hundred, maybe.
No, I don't even know if it's that.
So,
unless they just want him.
So, there's a chance. I think there's a chance he comes back. He gets to play center field, perhaps. I mean, I think they'll give it to Chase, but just so keep Chase from other walls. He's only got the one behind him to worry about.
Fast as lightning, so he's going to play center field.
Hey, Ricky Henderson was fast as lightning. He never played center.
Oh, okay.
You
want to bet he plays center field?
No, I don't. But I'm saying it's not just pure speed. That's a dad of a center fielder that's trying to get him to play center field, who's not the fastest kid in the world. There's more to it, Ira. It's instincts out there. Yeah. But Gage is a good college baseball player. He was a really good college baseball player.
The thing.
So what do you do?
He's a really good college baseball player.
Is he
kind of said it. He's a good college baseball player.
Is his I mean, I don't know. I'm sure he's chasing the dream, and he should chase the dream, but it's like, I don't know that he could come back and get paid something to play here. Not that, but something. And maybe have a better year where he's drafted higher next year. I don't know. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility the 16th round pick comes back.
I'm rooting for him to come back. He'll be a very productive player if he does. He was a very productive player this last year.
He'd be a nice bat at the top.
I don't think he
lineup.
Offers much right now for a major league team.
Right.
And he loses his leverage if he comes back.
I know, but you're not talking about millions of dollars of leverage.
But in Corey's point, in this world, you can make some money while you're here.
He could speak. He could be a Warchant correspondent.
There you go.
That'd be very cool. Burke says Shaheem Brown was once lauded as the next great defensive back at Florida State, but has since been a bit of an afterthought. Could this be a year he breaks out?
I mean, we kind of been waiting on it ever since he burst onto the scene. That I don't know if it was the spring or the fall, but he was intercepting a pass every day, and he doesn't. I don't think he has a career interception.
Looking back, it was all against Tate, but I mean,
Tate would try to fit into some windows.
Tate thought Shaheem was going to be the next.
Tate's like, what am I supposed to do? Sean Taylor. Should we have Sean Taylor on the other side? But yeah, I think that he's been an okay player at times. He just hasn't lived up to the hype, but the hype was also not just us saying, hey, he intercepted a pass today again. Adam Fuller said, I think this time last year that he thought he had a chance to be one of the best DBs in the country. Or expect him to be one of the best DBs in the country. And it's like, obviously that didn't happen. So it wasn't just media inflating this guy. The coaches thought he was going to be something special.
I think last year was just I just think some of the players on that team who were not bad influences just got sucked into the vortex of the suck of the program. Everything was going downhill and nobody stood up to stop it. A lot of them kind of spiraled with it. And I think it's hard, man. And, we talked about this before. Football is just not the sport you can kind of go through the motions.
Can't.
And if you're playing safety and you see nobody else is really putting their body on the line and your team stinks and you're nowhere what you thought you were going to be and everybody hates you.
And the kid already has 6 yards.
Yeah,
it's not like it's a great play anyway.
Right,
it's still
right.
going to be second and 4.
So you're just going to maybe usher the guy out of bounds a little bit more than you would if it's you've got to make the play. You got to go block a kick against LSU, which he did. I think that it changes how you play if the whole program's going to hell. So this is a great opportunity for him. Great opportunity, as Mike Norvell would say.
Yep.
They're not bringing you to ACC kickoff, Shaheem. They're making Earl Little the guy. They didn't, you didn't do a whole lot last year. Prove everybody wrong. I mean, I think he's got ability. I don't know that he's a next great thing, but I think he could be an all-conference type safety. He started for 3 years here, but it's going to be up to him how he handles this, because last year obviously was disappointing for him and for obviously the whole team.
I think you can look at it balanced that way. I'll give folks out there an example of how talented other people think he is and how talented he can be at times. There was a rumor, and I'm pretty sure this is true, that if Shaheem had left Florida State this offseason, one of the teams that was very, very interested in him and willing to pay him was Georgia. So that doesn't happen by accident, okay? Also, what is true is the last year's tape is not kind to Shaheem. He loafed. He didn't care. He didn't give much effort at all. He was a Jake. So both can be true. Immensely talented with a chance to redeem himself, as you just pointed out. So much so that schools like Georgia looked at him and thought, we can get more out of him. And it was also true that he was part of the problem last year. So,
yeah, he kind of wanted, because he was a good player in 2023, not Jared Verse level, but he was a good college safety, I thought, in 2023. And then you'd like him to have maybe and I thought he did. I thought he was the personality where he's the leader and people follow his lead. That didn't manifest itself last year. He kind of got, like you said, sucked into the vortex of everything else. He needs to be a flipping leader.
Let's hope it happens, because it could.
Yeah.
It could. Yeah, I'm not saying it wouldn't. I just think both of those things
But I
true.
thought that was my biggest disappointment. I thought that was his personality. I thought he was but maybe it's hard to have that when your team is so bad.
It's easy to have that when you're surrounded by studs.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tougher when you're the guy and like everybody else is not good.
Bourbon Babe writes, Jeff and Tom were discussing the severe swings from one year to next in the current era of college football, and I agree this is a phenomenon that is a result of NIL, transfer portal. How much is it going to suck when the rest of the college football world realizes this, and it's now called the Florida State effect because the Noles were the first to do it?
Yeah. It's like the Dion rule about you have to go to class your senior year. Look, there's never going to be – you can't even make it a rule. Because nobody's going to do what we just went through. No, there's not going to be a team.
But you could see people saying, "Oh, they're pulling a Florida State."
Yeah, I could see that, but the not to the level that Florida State pulled a Florida State, because
they set the standard.
That's it's you can't see it again. You're never going to see it again.
We will actually make fun of others for not living up to the standard.
Yeah, they only went from.
You guys went 4-8.
Yeah, y'all went
That's
from
not
12 wins
2-10,
to 4.
boys. That's not 2-10.
Nobody drops 11 wins. From one season to the next. Most people don't get to 11 wins to then drop from 13 to 2. Unprecedented. It will never be done again. I'm here to say it.
We'll see.
No chance.
Crazy era we live in,
No
buddy.
chance.
Crazy era we live in.
I can't imagine how good you have to be to win 13 games, and the next year you win 2.
Dylan writes, since 2014, Doak Campbell Stadium has steadily decreased in size from 84,000 thereabouts to 68,000 this upcoming year, from top 15 in the country to not even top 50. Do we not value home field advantage anymore? I used to love the atmosphere at Doak Campbell. Now I'm very concerned.
Let me make a couple comments. I know you guys were talking about this on Wake Up, and I know you guys talked about it on JCS also. So my 2 cents. I remember, man, in the early 2000s, talking to somebody who was in the administration at the time, who had been here in the 90s when they expanded the stadium the last time, got it from the old director set all the way up to 80-something thousand, and a beautiful, unbelievable stadium.
So you're talking to Dave Hart?
No, this was somebody on his staff.
Okay.
And they were saying to me, this is in 2002. They were saying to me, they regretted. They think it was a mistake. This is almost 25 years ago. They thought it was a mistake then because they when you're in the dynasty and everybody wants to come to your games every week, no matter who you're playing, because they want to see you've talked about, you want to go see the backups.
You want to see the backups.
Oh, you couldn't wait. Yeah.
The demand was so intense, and they wanted to be the level of everybody else. And so they did it. But then they realized, well, if you're not in the dynasty anymore,
and you're located where you're located,
and you're in Tallahassee with nothing as a day trip, Nothing other than maybe Jacksonville is a day trip.
And all the studies have shown just how unique Tallahassee is as a college market. It's especially
that
difficult.
They never should have gone as big as they went. So this has kind of been the backdrop for 20 something years. They've realized that 80 something was too much. Then you add in all the other factors, trying to get ADA compliant, trying to do all these other things. So they did what they did. It's going to be nice. It's going to be comfortable. The question people have, and to his question about whether or not it's going to be home field advantage, I just say, and we'll see how it plays out. We'll see if those people sit in the club or if they're inside, whatever. We'll see how that plays out.
I don't think it's the capacity.
But
that's
the capacity
problem.
is not the problem.
It's the club. It's
I've
the club element.
We've all been in stadiums. NC State's a tough place to play. It's like
go to a 60,000, 57,000 seat stadium.
There's a
NFL
diminishing return
all over the place.
Yeah, you can be in a stadium that's got 70,000, or the Orange Bowl was always 70,000. It was awful. I mean, it was like intense, loud as hell.
And I would say one of the loudest moments I've ever been in Doak was the 1989 Miami game.
Yeah,
when it starts with the pick with Butler and then Dexter goes around in, the camera's shaking it so loud. It's at like 62,000.
Yeah.
Like the capacity isn't the problem. Right. It is that. If it turns into like the club Doak kind of thing where half the people, not half, but a portion of the people aren't paying attention. They're not in their seats. That's when you're going to lose a crowd. But it'll feel like an NFL stadium.
Stadium design is a big part of the feeling of being overwhelmed by noise and atmosphere. Clemson has a really good design for that. It goes straight up. It comes cascading down upon you. Florida was wise when they added to their stadium where it was no longer level with University Ave, and they built up, and then that wall, that keeps the noise in. They did a really good job with that. A lot of schools that have, say, 52,000, 58,000 are built in such a way where it feels much more intimidating. Yeah,
like Oregon's not a big stadium, but it gets really loud.
Right. So some of it is design, and I'm curious to that end. The design's not much different than it's always been at Doak, at least in modern times. But I am kind of curious that down by the 50 there and how that's going to play, and like what you're talking about. The areas of luxury, let's just put it that way. The different spots in the stadium that are areas of luxury.
The people with the S-class.
The bougie seats.
Yeah.
The people with the S-class.
Does it take away from the atmosphere and from the noise possibilities? And do people just hang out? Because, I mean.
My guess is when you're playing Miami, when you're playing Alabama,
they're all out there cheering.
It's going to be awesome. I think in some of those other games,
you're going to want to tarp it. You're just going to tarp it.
People ducking inside.
I would definitely tarp the is it the Champions Club?
No, the Champions are still up there, but
I'm saying, but the Champions Club, that's what we call the thing in the end zone.
Yeah,
I'm losing my mind. I'd tarp those seats. Nobody ever sits in them anyway. It's just a bunch of empty seats.
I would put dummies that you could control with a controller, and they'd be going
bots.
Oh yeah, like a college football game, like the video game,
and doing stuff like that. And I'd have two doing the same thing, like a college football video game, where they would each reach for their Coke and their thing at the same time, and everybody would be. And it would be great. People like, have you seen what they done at Doak?
Yeah, all those people, they're really they love their team.
Amazing.
They're always standing up.
Yeah, during timeouts, they're all going like this. And just Seminole Headlines 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV continues in a moment.
It's not just a drink, it's a vibe. Cool off all summer long with bold and beautiful cocktails from Café de Martín. Try the stunning berry champagne with flowers on top, a refreshing pineapple coconut margarita, and the all-new tamarindo sour, or our spicy cantadito. Available Tuesday through Friday for just $12.50. Take a trip to Peru this summer at Café de Martín in the Esposito Shopping Center. Online at cafedemartin.com.
Hey, this is for my homeowner friends out there. You know who you are. When you get your grass cut, you're going to inspect the work, make sure it's good. Get your house painted, check around every corner and edge, make sure that's done right. Get a new roof, get eyes on those shimmering new shingles. Get your septic tank cleaned. Bet you're not popping your head down in there to take a look around. You got to trust it's done right. I'll make it easy. Go see my friend Greg Miller, Miller Septic. They're my guys. I trust them, and you can too. MillerSeptic.com. That's it. That's the commercial. That's the whole thing. Check them out. That's MillerSeptic.com.
Here's the cold, hard truth. Your body needs more than you're giving it to stay healthy. And now it's easier than ever with Vigor, the all-new cold plunge tub from Hot Spring Spas. Available only at Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas in Tallahassee. Cold plunges reduce muscle soreness, boost mood, improve sleep, and so much more. It's not just a trend, it's science-backed wellness. And now you can have it in your own home. Ready to feel alive again? Pinch A Penny has the exclusive home use solution. Visit us on Capitol Circle Northeast and take the plunge.
Hey, let me tell you about my friends at Tried and True Consulting, a Seminole-owned business that specializes in payments and business solutions. Tried and True's core expertise includes card, ACH, point of sale, mobile, e-commerce, and hosted payment solutions. Tried and True will help you reduce costs and increase your bottom line. That always sounds nice. Whether you're a retailer, restaurant, licensed professional, or service industry, Tried and True is saving you money. Tried and True's expertise extends to payroll, video menu ad boards, IT services, web design, and social media. It's time to make one call and tell the competition to take it on down the road. Call Don or Joe today at 844-464-6653. That's 844-464-6653. When you do business with Tried and True, they contribute 10% of the net revenue to the battle's end. So go Tried and True today. Call 844-464-6653.
Hey everybody, this is Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage. Been in the industry now for 22 years. I just made the move over to the nation's largest retail lender, Cross Country Mortgage, here to serve you in 7 states, including Florida, Georgia, Alabama, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and the state of Texas. Here to offer better service, better rates, and if you were thinking about buying or if you've been on the fence and been waiting to call me, now is the time. You can still find me at loansforknowles.com. That is, again, loansforknowles.com. I've helped thousands of fellow Knowles get into their dream home, and I can't wait to help you get into yours. Give me a call today. I'm at 954-369-6171, or go to loansforknowles.com. Again, that's 954-369-6171, and that's loansforknowles.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 373031.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
You know you're going to break it.
I think that's
like a child.
I think that's already happened.
What have you done?
I don't know.
That got put in 2 days ago. I don't understand. Why are you
faulty.
jerking around with the mic?
I wasn't. I was trying to fix this thing. Hey, it doesn't matter. Let's go with the show. Let's keep going with the show.
Jesus.
I'll figure it out.
Uh-huh.
I feel pretty confident in that.
Yeah.
Butch writes, I've been getting recent emails from FSU about this Knoll Pass thing they're offering. I feel dirty every time I read one. I can't see how this can be perceived by existing ticket holders, and the likelihood of getting a decent seat for a good game doesn't seem realistic at all. I thought about that when it was first released, that people who paid in might be like, whoa, what? What's going on here?
So apparently they're offering some deal, and I haven't seen it, but I've been told about it.
$650, Ira.
Okay, all right.
I've read all of it.
So you pay a certain amount of money, whatever it is.
Sounds like $650,
and then you find out like at the week of the game or whatever.
Week of the game on a Thursday, you find out you could be in the bleach. Whoa, I'm falling down now. You could be way off in the rafters.
It's a disaster.
And you could also be like maybe on the 50 in the seat backs. And
I like it.
People would be very pissed who paid for all those. Yeah.
I think it's a mystery. You might I don't know. I mean, listen, they're clearly trying to fill the remaining seats that have not been filled.
Yeah, that's not
an ideal, probably not an ideal situation.
Ira just nailed it. It's not an ideal situation. At one point, the last I checked for the West seat back, they were 43%. Not a good look. Not a good look. So they're trying to fill that up, guys.
That 2 and 10 was not at the best time.
It's tough, buddy. It's tough. G-Ray writes, with the proposed new settlement, is the cap money only for salaries, or is it the entire sports budget that includes teams traveling and food and other expenses like that?
No, that's just for the revenue sharing with the players. Everything else is still there. The athletic department budget is probably $170 million, something like that. The football department budget is probably well over half of that. It's this is just the money that's going to go to the athletes in terms of scholarships, and also the money from, just the cash that they get for being football players.
Right. Jeffrey writes, gentlemen and Corey, shout out to Cal Raleigh In light of baseball, can we all celebrate the right-handed pitchers they've added? Also, any update on FSU baseball recruiting? And then some thoughts about, well, and thanks for the show, and go Noles all the way from East Tennessee. All right,
well,
nice.
Brady, a little inside info here. Brady Clark was at the Link Jarrett showcase camp today.
How'd that go?
So I don't know if he's got an offer yet. I think Link has to wait till August 1st. So he can't say anything publicly, obviously, but it went well. He hit one to the track. That's what Link's looking for, is kids that can hit it.
Warning
like 5'9"
power.
kids that can hit it to the track.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
Darren wants to know your favorite dynasty era under the radar Nole. I'll start Todd Rebo, linebacker. Good old Todd Rebo,
athlete.
He was a really good player. I love Todd Rebo. I like your choice, Darren. I really did like him an awful lot.
And I was not following Florida State the way you guys were at the time, but what I was always impressed by about Todd Rebo is when I talked to Henry Crockett.
Henry
when he talks about Rebo, like he just talks about him, just how prepared he was, how smart he was, what a good football player he was. It's cool to hear that from a guy that played the same position.
Noles got USC's top reliever. That's right-handed pitching right there, buddy.
Just now?
I think so.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
there we go. Wasn't USC pretty good
let's
this year? They played Oregon State in the Corvallis, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't great. You're right, but they were at least a
compared to what
team.
they've been.
How about I want to say Jeff Chaney, but I always say Jeff Chaney.
Yeah.
So Rock Preston.
Oh,
Rock Preston's a good one.
Rock
that
Preston.
was mine.
Yeah.
That's 100% mine. I don't
Well,
like
you
it.
take Omar Ellison then.
Can I take Tiger McMillan?
Tiger McMillan's not bad either. We go with the running backs, little
all
spin,
right,
the spin move.
There we go.
But Rock Preston, it's a bummer. It's a real bummer that I guess he flunked out of school after 96 and he had to go to Carson Newman.
Back when that happened.
Because that was his year. Like 97, Warwick was leaving. He finally was going to be the feature back, and then he was at Carson Newman instead of Florida State. But he had some really big runs. He had some big time. I mean, he scored the game tire and the choke at Doak.
So this is really fun for all of us who were going to school at that time and or followed that era closely, because Ira, to me, this is a barroom conversation amongst Noles, and it gets like the heart pumping about all the backups or the low key studs on teams that had superstars.
Yeah.
And so you end up like, yeah, nobody ever talked about so-and-so, but I loved him. And he would play 32 snaps a game or 25 snaps a game, and he would make an impact. You know, like guys like that.
Well, I was thinking about just some of the offensive linemen back in the day, like Clay
buddy.
Shiver and all those guys
yeah.
that were, again, they were not the superstars, but those offensive lines were nasty. I mean, they had some really good offensive lines.
It was an era where they consistently blocked it up, Ira.
Yeah.
It's been an era where they have not for a very long time since.
Is Sam Cowart, is he under the
it's
radar?
Not low key at all.
Yeah, I know, but he was
number one. I think he was
a
number one player in the
superstar.
country.
Yeah, Sam
But he was he was a second round pick. But nobody, when you talk about all the greats in Florida, that's the problem.
Sterling Palmer.
There's so many.
Ooh, Sterling Palmer, Dan
Sterling
Footman.
Palmer was a bad bitch now.
I like Dan Footman now.
Footman's a
Dan
good
Footman's a good one.
Yeah,
I like him better than Sterling because Sterling came in with a lot more hype than Dan
Sterling was
Footman did.
evil too. Like he scared me.
Yeah, he
I
had that
worried about
visor. He had that
Sterling.
dark
I
visor.
thought Sterling was maybe a killer, and I mean that as a compliment.
Was he the one that
usually you do
the Virginia story on
Yeah,
Halloween?
about trick or treat, MFer.
Yeah.
It's apparently what he told the offensive tackle.
And apparently Steve Ellis wrote that little blurb every Halloween.
Yeah.
This is an
reminder.
interesting question because it's kind of funny to think about, if only for a second.
My shoulder's getting a little sore, gang. I'm having to hold this
Jason,
mic like I'm Bruce Springsteen.
Because you
I thought
broke it.
You told us the other night you used your left hand. That was.
Oh,
remember?
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, there
so
you go. I'll go to my left hand.
Jason writes, after last season.
Call this the stranger. Go ahead.
After
Jeff.
last season.
Sorry.
If given the opportunity.
Come on. Ask a question.
Be a pro.
Be a pro.
If given the opportunity this season, do you see Norvell making an effort to run up the score?
Just anyone?
Yeah, I mean.
East Texas A&M, get some. Kent State?
No, I don't think so.
Jason, this is funny.
Well, I will say this.
This is funny for a lot of reasons, but I will tell you that if I'm Norvell for the rest of my life, I run up the score on anybody I
you
can.
to get a chance. Yeah.
I mean, if it's 30-0 at half against East Texas, I'm telling that coach, you better bring your starters out, coach, because we're slinging it around the lot, buddy. This is gonna be 75-10.
I have a feeling your offensive coordinator is going to be motivated to put up numbers. So it wouldn't shock me if Gus keeps the foot on the gas as games go on.
Always,
if they're in a position.
Well, you're in the ACC, gang. they're going to screw you if it comes down to a 50-50. You better beat the brakes off people.
Yeah, but honestly, how often they're going to have two chances?
I'm just saying, like if there's a situation where it comes down to two similar resumes in a given year and you have a bunch of 7-point wins when they could have been 21-point wins, no, go ahead.
I'll say this: if they're 9-2 going into Gainesville and they're up 44-6 over the Gators in the fourth quarter,
throw it around
you're
the
slinging
line.
it. I don't
Sling it.
Put Sperry in there. I don't care, but you're slinging it. You're trying to get to 50.
By the way, on the last question, the chat is going crazy. John Nance, Sterling Palmer, D. Feaster, Zach Crockett,
Zach Crockett, forget about
Khalid
it.
Abdullah, Louis
you can
Tyree.
go on and on and on
But
forever, yeah.
my favorite one right here, I think, is Chris Hope. Chris Hope.
I like Chris Hope. He was a really good player, though.
Yeah, I don't think he's I don't think he's low key though.
Yeah,
I don't know what the low
underrated.
key is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Hope had a good career and then played in the league. God, yeah. How would we define?
Because
underrated?
I've always maintained that Tay Cody is the most low key superstar they've ever had because he never gets brought up with T-Buck and Dion and those guys, but he was unbelievable that season.
He was a better player as Karanta Cody.
100% agree. Yeah, he
That's
should have
true.
stuck
He
with
was.
Karanta.
He was better player as Karanta Cody.
True freshman star. He started as a freshman at
Yes,
corner
he did.
too.
Bob wants to know, do you think the big dumper can fit in the new seats installed at Doak?
Yeah, they're made for him.
Also,
I don't know, man.
They're big dumper accessible.
I think
they are much wider.
I don't think his ass is as big as they act like now. Even McAfee said, I mean, it's
it is
big,
massive.
but all big catch, all MLB
No,
catches.
but it's bigger than big.
Buster had a big one. It's those legs. It's those. Brian McCann had one.
Yeah.
It's not outrageous. It's not J-Lo.
No.
You know, he can sit. He can like. It's not uncommon for his size to have something like that. So I feel like he could sit in normal seats. He's a 6'2", 240.
He's 6'3", 250, 260.
Yeah, he can do that. He's like a. It's like a.
It's a sizable ass.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, and he should be proud of it.
It's a great nickname.
It's an
all-time
nickname.
great
Yeah,
nickname.
yeah.
There's a I was looking to see if he's on Twitter, and there's a Cal Big Dumper Raleigh fake account on Twitter, a parody account. And when I first saw it, I thought he did that. I thought he put Big Dumper in his own.
Yeah. No.
How funny would that be?
And I don't know that he was all that fired up with the way he got introduced by McAfee. He didn't seem all that fired up about it yesterday.
I didn't see it.
McAfee said the biggest ass in all of professional sports.
That's a great intro.
Yeah, but as he's being risen up, as he's coming up on the.
Can you imagine the fanfare, speaking of Florida State greats, the fanfare for Cal Raleigh, can you imagine what it would be in this day and age with Corey Simon? That's the biggest ass in the history of asses.
Yeah, and
Corey,
awesome.
I know you listening, baby.
An
You know,
awesome
I
player.
love you.
But an awesome player,
he's
too.
An all-world player, of course.
The craziest thing about Corey Simon
that
is
ass went for days.
But when you look at pictures of him when he was young, he did
wasn't
not
like
look
that.
like that. In fact, and you hear guys around that were on campus at that time, apparently, man, he was nasty and leech, just throwing down dunks. I mean, super athletic.
Yeah.
And then, he became just
Might be why he was like
enormous.
the number 6 pick in the draft.
Right.
Like that size to go along with some athleticism.
It's funny when we see him at practice occasionally and he'll come over and dap you up or whatever. Some guys, when you slap five, you do the bro hug, you kind of lean in, you get a sense of like, whatever, they're normal guys.
Corey's
Other
a
guys,
massive-
you're like, then the other guys, you're like, I'd be a ragdoll. He could just do anything. I mean, he's like that
Yeah.
dense.
He got
that
paid to do it.
You're just like, good God, man. All right, Clint wants to know, hey, guys, how many catches is reasonable to expect from Deuce Robinson considering the run-heavy offense we're going to be in?
40.
That was the first number that popped in my
How
head.
about
40 to
that?
45.
I was
is-
going to say 45.
40 to 45 seems. And that's listen, man. If he does that with his speed and size, you want him to be averaging 18 yards of
I was
completion.
going to say 40 for around 750 is what that would be with 8. That's what I'm looking for Deuce this year. 40, 750, and 8.
I'm really curious to hear how the two of you answer this question.
Is it about the mic?
No.
Because I'm still holding it.
Hey, fellas, this is from Justin. What would Florida State's record have been if Billy Napier or Mario Cristobal had replaced Mike Norvell at the start of last year?
At the start. So after the Georgia Tech
So right
game.
after the 24 season.
So
I mean, right after the
23 season.
Yeah.
Cristobal comes in. But he's the same team. Like it's the exact same team.
Well, that's the thing I guess because, you could argue that he would not have chosen to go out and get DJ Uiagalelei.
Maybe, yeah. But if it's the same
Could
team.
he have brought the same tech billionaires with him?
That'd be cool.
To pay players?
That'd be ideal.
I mean,
look, it's an impossibility, hypothetical.
Yeah. Because I'm not convinced those two guys are Newt Rockne.
Well, and the
Well,
other part of
first
it
of all,
is,
yeah.
but the other part of it is, you're trying to unwind. You're trying to act like there was there were a lot of things that led up to that team being as bad.
And there
as
was some residue from the year before, a lot of it.
The snub, and then the embarrassment, and then the players go in the portal. I mean, it's just there's a lot of stuff going on there that Mike Norvell had to navigate that maybe a new head coach wouldn't have. But I don't know that it's fair to say, well, if you just changed that guy, everything would have been okay.
I'm going to guess that neither would have gone 2-10. But we'll never know, and it doesn't mean they would have been good.
Yeah, and also, like, if there's no parameters here. If they come in and they're allowed to, like, say, I want different coordinators.
Yeah.
Right.
Then that's where I would be like, well, yeah, they would have been better because they got better
I want
coordinators.
A different personnel because I run a different
But just
offense,
coming in and coaching that same team, you had a team that couldn't block. He still has Alex Atkins as his offensive line. He still has that offensive line.
Let me
and
ask
he still has that quarterback that's hobbled.
Let me ask you this question. What if Mike Norvell was coaching that Miami team last year?
Right.
Do they still lose 4 games or whatever?
Well, their defense was dreadful.
Well, but also they made some crazy decisions.
And they also
I don't know if Mike.
In-game coaching, Cristobal is a deadbeat. He's a bum.
Yeah.
That's why he loses games. It's certainly not because he can't recruit. He does that very well. Yeah, I think Mike probably makes better decisions.
And the whole thing with the Florida team last year, and again, I'm not trying to take anything away from Napier. Maybe he turns out to be a great coach, but I think that team had the benefit of people telling them all year they're going to be terrible.
And
they're
he was
going to lose all
fired.
those games, and he's going to be fired. And then they rallied around that. Florida State was in a completely different situation. You're coming off of 13-0. You lost all your best players, and you feel like the world dished you. And then you bring in all these new mercenaries and it goes downhill. But like that is a tougher situation to me than have a bunch of kids who are rallying around each other.
I think
and that's not necessarily the coach did it. It's just circumstances.
The underlying theme of this question, though, is that 2 years ago, if you'd asked us this question, Norvell is head and shoulders above either one of them.
Correct.
Now he's in the muck with both of them. That's what 2 and 10
he's
does.
beneath both of them.
But
currently.
I mean, they're basically they feel like they're in. It's not like you would be upset if Napier replaced Mike Norvell tomorrow.
Right.
No, you couldn't
2
be
years
based
ago, you would have been like, "What? No chance."
Right.
That's what
that's
last
the
year
damage
did.
done.
Yeah, that's the
No
damning evidence that happened
That's
last
the
year.
frustration and the anger the fans feel. It's that they like Norvell. They want Norvell to succeed. How in the world could
And
you
then he
have
slapped
taken
him in the face.
Well, no. Taken a distinct advantage that you had. You had a hand in this relationship over the other two. And you lost it all in one season. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. High temperatures reach up to 96. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Chance of thunderstorms. Lows dip down to about 74. Overcast tomorrow. Storms likely. Daytime highs approaching 88. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, it's 93 degrees.
Hey, you, can't you read the sign? It says, keep off the grass. Oh, but I just wanted to feel it. Excuse me? I wanted to feel what it was like to have an amazing lawn like you do. It always looks so good, even in the summertime. How do you do it, neighbor? They're called Lawn Johns. They come once a week. Maybe you should give them a call so you can tell other people to stay off your lawn. How's that sound? Ooh, yes. I would love to tell people to stay off my lawn.
For the very best in lawn care, call the Lawn Johns at 850-322-2567.
Stay off my lawn.
Some men follow the crowd. Others take the long way, the wayward way. At thewaywardgent.com, we've curated the gear, gadgets, and grit every respectable man needs, from the fairway to the fire pit. We've identified the top-rated Amazon finds, so you don't have to. No fluff, just the good stuff. Visit thewaywardgent.com for the man who's not afraid to live a little off course. Thewaywardgent.com.
Hey man, have you heard the sound? The Talford Jewelry's the best in town. So rings, diamonds, earrings, bracelets, and more. And Talford Jewelry Store.
When was the last time you randomly did something nice for someone that means a lot to you? Now, I say this every day at the end of my show, for everybody to be a better person today than you were yesterday. Well, one way to do that is to drop into Pentalta and get a gift for someone who deserves it. It'll brighten their day, their week, maybe even their year. You don't have to wait for a holiday or special occasion, so don't wait to go check out a true local gem, serving Tallahassee since 1988. Now sing along with me, and I'll see you at Pentalta.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and
I cut you off, buddy.
He's fine. He's on his paid.
I cut you off. Ambassador to Florida writes, gentlemen, August 30th, 2025. It's a balmy 96 degrees at kickoff in Tallahassee. The coin is flipped. Alabama calls tails, and it lands with Sankey's mug facing up. Your call. You going on defense or offense? I like that question. That's a fun question.
I mean, he's going to go defense, but it's worth considering.
It is worth considering, and I'm taking the ball and going on offense.
Are you really?
You're going down you're setting the tone.
The wizardry of the Gus Malzahn offense, buddy. We've got wrinkles to this thing now.
You're setting the tone like you did last year in Ireland when you went right down the field.
Right down the field. Get you some.
Get you some jackets.
How'd
that taste?
What you got there?
Have Tommy be one of the captains. He's out there. He calls it. When he and then the referee asks him, do you want the ball or not? And Tommy just says into the referee's microphone. So we all can hear.
Yeah.
What kind of question is that?
Yeah.
Of course we want the ball.
I like it. Yeah, we want the ball.
You think these guys can stop me?
Yeah.
No chance.
I already told y'all what's going to happen.
Can't you read?
Let's go. Give me the ball.
I want to say really quickly, somebody mentioned it in the chat here, but congrats to Lottie Woad, who turned pro today. Yep, going to the LPGA, and she should.
So she would have won like $500,000 if she'd have been a pro last week.
Yeah, but Matt was explaining this to me.
Retroactively, go give her money.
Well, but I mean, her being an amateur is what allowed her to get that card by going through that program. Like if she had gone into it as a pro, then she wouldn't have got her card.
But once she's, like I said, if she's on the 17th green and she knows she's in third place, go ahead and declare that you're pro right there as you walk up the 18th fairway.
Not sure that it works that way.
Should.
It's impressive to be out there throwing up a 64 on a Sunday to finish third at a major, and then also to have already, won. Yeah. I mean, it's like she's doing some things.
Yeah.
And was incredibly humble and kind when I interviewed her. I think you've talked to her too, but she's fantastic.
Yeah, a really good representative of Florida State. And hey, you know what? In England too, which is her home country.
Gentlemen and Jeff, it's clear you're all best friends now, but would you all have been best friends as freshmen? That's interesting.
I mean, the thing about dorms is they bring weird people together.
Yeah.
Well, when y'all were freshmen, I was, I think, in the 5th grade. So that would have been weird if I'm hanging out with a bunch of 18-year-olds when I'm 10.
But you were mature for a 10-year-old.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah. I think if we all knew each other as freshmen,
we would have gotten along fine.
Well, man, we had the exact same interests.
Yeah, we're sports addicts. And we would have loved that.
Yeah, Ira, you love Radiohead.
I'm a big music guy.
You would have been into with Jeff and the music.
All right. Yeah. Plus, Ira and I have an affinity for old school rap, so we'd have been good there too.
Yeah, totally.
We would have had that. Guys, we like to drink beer and eat wings. We would have been all right.
Yeah. I think we'd have done okay.
It would have been okay.
You guys might end up fighting over a girl, though.
Well, I don't know but we would have had some really dumb arguments. Like we've had dumb arguments on this show. Yeah. Imagine when we're 18 and just pure idiots and we're alcohol fueled.
Well, that's anybody. That's any three people in the world,
especially us. I just think there would have been some like weekends where we had to get away. Or I would have had to throw Jeff off a balcony.
You wouldn't have been able to throw
I know. I would have had to get a running start. You were sleeping.
Gator Kirk writes, good afternoon. After scholarships are deducted from the $20.5 million, how much money is available for distribution to athletes?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably 18.5, somewhere in there. I mean, the scholarship number in the past has been a couple $1 million. Now, the one thing that I'm not sure what's going to happen here or not is where the schools are trying to get the board of governors to allow the universities to start giving money back to athletics because they used to not be able to. I think there's a talk about maybe getting scholarships to go along that way where the athletics department wouldn't have to pay for scholarships anymore. The school would just give them the scholarships. So maybe that gets it back to 20. But yeah, right now I think it's $2 to $2.5 million in scholarships.
Let's say, writes Chuck, we have a 9+ win season. Which assistant coach gets poached first? Is it Gus or Tony?
Ooh, Tony, I think.
I think it's Tony. He's been this close to being a head coach already.
Yeah.
I think Gus maybe down the line would be a head coach again. I know he's talked about how close he was to retirement. I got to believe that if he has a couple successful years running the offense here and got an offer to a reasonable place to be a head coach again, he'd do it one more time. But I think Tony's knocking on the door. And if they're going to win 9 or 10 games this year, it means the defense is going to be at least average, right? I mean, pretty good. Better than they were a year ago.
Yeah.
They'll have to be, and that'll be seen as another step forward for him, having come in here and rectified a disaster of a defense. Right. Yeah, and he's young and will interview extremely well.
That's why you don't want to win 9 games. You want to hold on to this staff for at least one more year. So settle on 7-5, and then you don't have to worry about that.
Long game.
They're not coming to get your DC when you go 7-5.
There's some more questions about recruiting and we've kind of answered a lot about these recruiting questions because a lot of it is, again, they had a great June. They've had a lukewarm July. All of it's going to come down to what they do on the field. I mean, there's still more spots to fill. I'd love to see them get a bona fide studded offensive tackle. They need an edge rusher. They need some of those things. But, man, all of it is going to be whether or not you're any good on the field. And I think you can, and by any good, I mean, I think you can go 8-4, 9-3, just how it looks and whether or not you take a big step forward.
Yeah, and I think, and again, I would take issue a little bit, and I know you guys were talking about it on Wake Up this week, just about that this staff is so much better. Because I think one of the questions you guys got was, is it a sign because they've recruited well this summer that this staff is that much better at recruiting? There might be some of that, but I also think this time last year they were recruiting well. It was everything went off the rails when they got in the season and lost games.
But they were recruiting well on the heels of 13-0.
Yeah, I know, but they did have they had 3 or 4 superstar wide receivers committed. I mean, they had an unbelievable wide receiver class, and because you're coming off of Keon and Johnny, but then you go out there and you look terrible, you lose them all. So, Mike Norvell has been, always will be, I think, as long as he's the head coach, a huge part of the recruiting process. He's the stir that he's the straw that stirs the drink. But I do think right now you've got a chance with some new coaches, and it's impressive what they're doing coming off of 2-10. But I think they would have done this last year if they didn't fall apart in the season. So
it's interesting. I think you make a really good point that people need to think back on more and more often. The head coach is the guy that should get the praise as well as the blame for recruiting. It's your program, and it's a point of emphasis or it's not. You're either good at it, you're not. You demand it of your assistant coaches or you don't. You press through whatever barriers there are or you don't. It's always good or bad on Mike.
Yeah.
It just is because that's the way it is. Look, Georgia's got a lot of great recruiters. It's Kirby. Kirby lives it, eats, drinks, sleeps recruiting. Listen to him talk about it. Yeah. It's almost uncomfortable.
And it's also so much of it, man. It's not just, there's a 4-star, let me go get him. Is he going to be a 4-star that can play? Evaluation is an enormous part of recruiting, man. Yes. And that comes down to what position coaches you're employing or what eyes you're using as a head coach to view and say, yeah, that kid's going to be a player for us, or that's a waste of a scholarship. We don't need him. I don't care that he's 4 stars. He's not good enough to play for us. And there's been some, that's with everybody. Everybody has hits or misses. Jimbo was 50% from the field at best. They all have hits and misses, but yeah, it's not been great. It's not been, his guys coming up through the program have not been.
No, it's been a weakness.
Impactful difference makers.
Yeah, it's been a weakness. And especially that's true of quarterback. I mean, we're waiting on the big quarterback. So let's hope that it happens. Maybe it's Sperry. Maybe it's this kid that they just got. I don't know, but it's got to happen at some point. Terry wants to know, this will be the last question of the day, boys. Good afternoon, Jen. So in celebration of list season and the famous what-if scenarios, what if Travis Hunter had never flipped and AZ still signed?
Yeah.
Would that have changed the recruiting reputation? Would 2-10 have ever happened? Would we be having these conversations?
They would not have gone 2-10 if Travis Hunter was on the team last year. I'm convinced of it.
I think you're probably
wrong.
I think you're probably right about that. Yeah.
it would have changed those perceptions because the KJ Bolden thing and then the other defensive end from Alabama or whatever, like those were bad, but they were made look so much worse
because it was on the heels
of Travis Hunter.
I hated when they lost Bolden. I knew he was going to play her, and he was right off the bat.
I think, but the thing I brought up, I think last year was that I'm convinced of this too. And again, it can't be proven one way or the other. So that's why I'm going to hold my feet.
Be emphatic about it, Corey.
If Travis Hunter is on that 2023 team, it doesn't matter if Jordan Travis gets hurt. They make the playoff. They are looked at as he changes the dynamic.
Superstar, sure.
He changed, but to go along with all those other, you can't then say with a team that has Travis Hunter on it, they're not talented enough to compete with Michigan. Come on, man. They would have been. They would have.
And remember, he also would have played receiver.
Well,
yes, he might have played quarterback in that game. They might have put him at quarterback.
I am curious about that. None of us are like sold that Deion's a great head coach. We'll see how this all plays out, especially now that he doesn't have his sons playing for him. But in Travis Hunter particularly, his decision to play him the way he did play him in both ways was not what most coaches would do. Very few coaches would do that. So you got to give Deion credit for doing that. I thought it was risky. I thought it was probably not smart at the time, but he got the benefit of that. I don't know if Mike Norvell would have done that. I don't know.
I think Norvell is like, we'll put you on offense 10 plays a game or 20 plays a game. Deion's like, no, you're going to play 160 snaps a game.
Because he extended drives offensively. I mean, there were so many times where it's like third and forever and he just makes a crazy catch or just jukes 6 guys.
Yeah.
I mean, he extended drives for them so many times.
You could argue there may not have been a person in college football who was more in shape than Travis.
It's unbelievable.
Crazy. I don't know how, because it wasn't just that he played both ways. He dominated.
He was awesome both ways.
He was awesome. And you don't see it.
I know a lineman that was like an offensive tackle and a defensive tackle. I know you wouldn't do that, but if you did, obviously they're in incredible shape to be able to do that. But like he's running full speed every play.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
Well, and you can go back and look at the other two-way players, at least in the modern era, and none of them played full bore both ways. You had guys that did play both ways, but they weren't playing 80 snaps and then playing 60 snaps on the other side. They weren't doing that.
I think the fact that Deion did it in the NFL, like he was a starting wide receiver for the Cowboys for a year, at least half a year. Like the fact that he did it, he's the only person that could convince somebody like Travis Hunter, you can do it. I did it. You're going to do it. And obviously that happened.
Say goodbye, boys.
But anyway, Travis Hunter, we miss you.
See you next week at ACC Kickoff.
Next time we talk together, we'll be at ACC Kickoff. For Ira and Corey, I'm Jeff. Bonus hour coming up.